Welcome to Quick Flicks.
Hi guys.
Yes, we're back.
We are back.
I'm back. My back.
So well, we've been gone for a while, but we'll get into that.
And now we're talking about an actual relevant film this time, instead of some weird film that nobody talked about from London or Britain or whatever. We're talking about Onward, one of the few actually now original Pixar films coming out these days. Sequel after sequel after prequel after sequel after reboot after sequel.
You know, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Yes, now playing a brotherly duo trying to resurrect their father for one day.
Yep.
But they only bring back half of him, so now they're trying to get the other half back.
Okay.
And we watch them on their magical adventure as they go and try to do the thing.
Okay.
So, I think now we can begin with the official review with a little bit of backstory out of the way. Let's talk about characters. So, let's talk about our main characters. We have Ian Lightmaker. Yeah, Lightmaker, right? That's her last names. Yeah, I think it's Ian Lightmaker. And what's the brother's name? It's like...
we just watched
Barley.
this movie.
Barley.
Barley, yeah, Barley.
Ian and Barley are our two main characters. Ian is played by none other than Tom Holland. And Chris Pratt plays the brother Barley. Marley.
You also have their mother. And then the legs of their father. And this, what kind of monster was she?
The Clanthropus?
I don't know. She was some kind of monster, but she was in it a lot.
She was really
and
fun.
what's his name, Chad? The horseman?
John or something.
It's like a half horse, half man.
What
are they called?
Centaur.
Centaurs. It's a centaur.
Centaur.
Which was the mom's new boyfriend.
Yes.
Anyways, so yeah. I think, should we just go character by character and say their...
I think we should just discuss the characters overall, then we'll start specifying.
Okay.
And honestly, all the characters definitely felt like they had something to do in the story.
Right.
Some characters felt a little bit, I guess you could say, never mind. They all felt like they had something to do, and they never felt out of place when we saw them.
I agree. I feel like every character that was in there for a purpose. They served their purpose, and I feel like they each grew, I think.
Yeah. Each one kind of became a bit, I guess you can say, more defined throughout the story.
Yeah.
Because when we first meet, the whole horse cop guy, you're like, oh, he's just this irresponsible guy who just wants their mom. But then slowly you begin to realize he's just a guy trying to do his best, and sometimes that's not his best. Sydney.
I don't know.
What do you think?
We'll get into it when we talk about him. Okay. First person we are gonna... Thor. He has bad ears.
We'll talk about Ian Lightmaker.
We're gonna talk about Ian.
He looks a lot like Weenie from Ratatouille.
No, he doesn't.
He kind of does.
He's so cute. Okay. Ian. I felt overall proud of the kid. He was so sad. He was so sad he wasn't confident. He was they just did a really good job with him, I feel like. And then you could see he started kind of not rebelling, but he got that okay, I gotta live a little bit, Yeah,
he was like, I just want to be something.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like you said, I think he is really relatable and
he
just a really good character.
I think he represents what a lot of teenagers kind of go through, where they're all like, I want to be something, and sometimes they just can't do that because of their problems. Yeah. I feel like that perhaps the best moment it has to be where he's so desperately trying to fit in. He's like, hey, guys. Hey, gang. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I genuinely think that his brotherly dynamic with his brother is something that is beautifully grown throughout the film.
And I think in the end, we've talked about him.
I think he's
letting
one of the better
him
Pixar characters.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those defined.
Yeah, he was a really good character.
Well-rounded.
Yeah, and I liked in the end where he was Barley was like, no, you go, and he's like, no, you say hi to Dad for me.
I honestly loved that scene. It was
Yeah.
so it hit me hard.
Yeah.
I really loved how he's all like, "Listen, you have more memories than me. You had a dad."
And like that's so unselfish. Like as a kid, like that's so unselfish. What is he? Is he high school probably?
Yeah, he's 16. So yeah,
Okay,
freshman in high school.
Freshman.
Yeah, freshman.
Or sophomore?
Remember, like
You're a
first
sophomore.
day of school.
You're a sophomore.
Well, I mean, they act like it was his first day of high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So, anyways, Ian, overall, an amazing character. One of the best,
Yeah.
I think.
Honestly, I hope that if they do give like Tom Holland or whoever an award, because dude, that voice acting was top.
Yeah, yeah. It was so.
And I genuinely love just how like he went from this kid who's like magic doesn't exist to like fully like utilizing it. At the end. Where like he's like every fiber pull out the splinter make a giant.
Yeah, like
you
it
know.
was such a good character. They did so good with him.
I love that.
Okay, next one is Barley.
Yeah,
I have a soft spot in my heart for him too.
He reminds me. I genuinely was surprised because I thought they were going to do the whole I'm just the big old goofy nerdy brother.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he just turned out to be this guy who's all like, I'm trying my best to restore his history and like keep our magic intact.
Yeah.
But I genuinely really love that little moment. Like it was very subtle where like they're trying to like get him away from like the history thing and like he's trying super desperately. I love how he kind of hugs onto it. Like he's all like,
I agree.
I love that little character moment because it's all like, this is all I have.
Yeah, because
like,
I
he's a bit of a
definitely agree
screw
with
up
you.
in life.
Well,
I mean, like that's what everyone tells him.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I think they did a good job with him too. Like when, like first looking at the trailers, I thought he was gonna be just the dumb brother who has no substance, but they really gave him substance, meaning, and
yeah,
a beautiful character.
There, that moment where the van just explodes, you definitely feel like that was the heaviest hit because that's all his dad was like left for him.
Yeah, and like the magic thing, I feel like they could have touched more on it, but like the magic thing was because of his dad, right?
Yeah,
like
I mean, like in full honesty, I don't really like how they explain the magic. We'll talk about that later for like the plot and stuff.
But anyways, very good character.
Yeah, I was really. I love the character designs. It represents him so good.
And he was a brother, but he was also like
the father figure.
The father figure of Ian.
Yeah, and like the fact that they shared their entire lives together really makes that little bit of like that final moment where like Ian's all like, "Oh my God, I really did all that today," and then you just feel like, I got overwhelmed. I felt it in my gut. I was like, "Oh God, I just was like, that was good."
Yeah,
very
yes.
nice.
So they're gonna be very great Pixar characters.
I hope that they make a sequel.
They should go. I don't know how they would make a sequel. We can talk about that later.
The mother.
The mother. Okay, even the mother grew.
She went
as
from
a character too.
Also, I love the whole like bring back in like the little like I am a warrior thing.
Yeah,
Where like she just like freaking hopscotch over the dragon, just stabs him.
And then it was kind of like you get like the you mess with my babies, you mess with me, you know?
Yeah, I like how she just picks up that sword that is obviously not good for her, and she's like, I'm just going to throw this at you, Mach 3.
Yeah.
Dude, she was a great character.
And she always stuck by her kids' side.
And I like how she kind of just like has this bit of a, okay, I'm done with this. Where like the snake lady's like, you can try, but you know, then just...
Yeah, she was like...
Here's some money and like a little thing. I love this vase. And then they just leave. And then they just like scream.
She was like a bittersweet.
She had those moments where she was like... I felt like there was a bit of like... She's like, I'm just going to act like all nice. But then she's like, I really like that.
Yeah. She was a good character. I liked her too.
Yeah.
The Beast lady, I can't think of what they called her. I'm sorry.
I think...
She was funny. She was okay. So
I really love that moment in like the freaking like I think it's the like little shack area that she like made into like a restaurant. She's like, what have I become?
I know. Yeah.
And she just had like the most existential crisis thing ever.
Like really went like.
She's like, what have I done?
Yeah.
I really like that little.
But she was she brought in the humor. I feel like because it was a really kind of serious.
Yeah, it was a family drama.
Yeah, but
like, she brought that little bit of Pixar. Let's just get like Pixar cartoony.
Yeah. So she was good, and then even though now we're gonna talk about the dad, that was just legs, But even though he was just legs, I got so much from him.
Yeah, you could tell so much about his personality. And the fact that they're all like, he's such a bad dancer, but he was dancing anyway. He didn't care. But I would love to see a spin-off short film about what the dad was doing in the afterlife while his legs were gone. Like, it just shows him just walking.
The top half?
Yeah, just the top half. Like, it just shows him like, my boards are summoning me. Then it just goes like...
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Yeah. I think they just did a really good job with the characters.
Yeah, I really felt like they kind of pushed some of the whole, like, hey, the dad's just legs. How is he able to hear them? But they're like, he's feeling the vibration of the music. Is this Star Trek? Why would you just say something so scientific?
Well,
he heard the vibrations of the music, so he knew what the song was doing?
Yeah, you know that's how, like, blind, or wait, is it blind?
Deaf?
Deaf? Please take that out. Oh, that's a mess.
It just shows there's no way.
Guys, it's late. I'm sorry. I meant deaf. How? Please say that. Deaf people, that's how they listen to music. They feel, that's how like musicians can sing or something. They feel the vibrations through the floor.
Oh.
That's a real thing.
But wait, whatever.
It's realistic. Don't talk crap about it. It's realistic. Sure.
Okay.
It's realistic. That's so annoying. And I know you're gonna keep that in, and I know you're gonna make fun of me in editing because you.
I'm anything but better.
No, you're evil to me in editing. Anyways. Okay, characters done.
Wait, we forgot about the dad, the horse.
Opening it back up. I hate him.
Why? He's not that bad of a character.
I don't like him.
I saw him more as like this like whole like I don't understand these kids but I'm willing to put up with them kind of guy. Why do you hate him?
I don't like him.
Why?
Because he was just like, you can't hurt your mother no more and blah blah blah. But like these kids are hurting too. They lost their father.
Well, I don't really know what you expect from him. This guy lived in a world where there was no magic. But, like...
Yes, okay, so did the mom. The mom lived in a world where there was no magic, but she still supported her kids.
He's a different kind of character. He's used to order, so he's not really used to this whole magic just doing weird stuff. Like,
it doesn't
he
matter,
saw a
but
guy.
if you're in a relationship, you're not in the relationship just with her. You have to accept their kids, too.
That's what he learned at the end of the film.
No, he really didn't. He really didn't.
Really?
He really didn't.
What? Sydney, he learned to kind of understand them at the end.
At the end? Barely. All he did was let his mane down and he was like, I can now run like a horsey.
Sydney.
True.
He had an arc.
I didn't like him.
Fine. We'll move on to the next thing.
Okay, I mean, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't my favorite.
You literally said you hated him.
I don't like him.
Why? I didn't see him as an unlikable character. He was more like this character that I was all like, he's somebody that just needs to get that right bit, like that little bit of a, oh yeah, I need to get my crap together and start acting like a good father to these kids. And you start getting that at the end. Where like
I don't know if he necessarily wanted to be a father to the kids.
Well, he started acting like it. He tries to be. He's like, hey, I don't want you guys to hurt your mother no more. She's been through enough.
Yeah. Okay, and that's where I have the problem. I don't want you guys to hurt. They're hurting too.
Well, Sydney, he's having trouble with that. He needs a push.
Well, I didn't see that. I just see what I want to see.
Fine then.
Anyways, that's characters. Overall, they were all pretty much good characters, except for one.
Let's move on.
Characters.
To...
Moi. Oh, masterpiece. Can you clack it already?
Let's move to the plot. Let's talk about the story of the movie.
Oh my god.
I love the setting, not gonna lie. Modern day fantasy has always been something good. Take that, Bright. Modern day fantasy, you know. Creatures like dragons and stuff in the modern age. I love that stuff.
I liked it.
I really love the setting where like it combines.
I don't know why I thought it was so funny, but I thought it was so funny, the freeways. You know how there's just a bajillion cars? I just thought it was so funny for some reason.
Was it accurate to you?
No, not really. Well,
I can't do it!
I just imagine like LA traffic. Like dragons living in LA traffic.
Come on, move it or else I'm gonna burn you alive! But let's talk
like,
about
merge. Like that was in my head.
Let's talk about my main problem with the conflict.
Okay.
The magic.
The magic.
They didn't do a good job of explaining why the magic is not in the world anymore. They're all like, magic is hard to master, so we found easier ways to do stuff. But I'm just thinking, couldn't you just say that magic started running out and it's just like, it's not like infinite, it's a finite source.
I think it has to do with evolution.
I think
it's a little bit of an evolution thing because it said like, oh yeah, only some people have the magic or whatever. But like, yes, only some people have the magic. But Barley didn't have the magic. Ian did.
But that doesn't make sense.
Good God, can you just listen to my explanation?
But in the movie...
Can you just listen to my explanation?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I think it has to do with that because it was weeding out everybody that used magic, so then you get stuck with people that don't have it.
Well, but in the movie's own logic, they say that magic was too hard to master, so we found ways around
shortcuts. If you get rid of shortcuts, then you get rid of it in general.
But I'm just thinking, couldn't they have just said that magic could only be used by those worthy or something like that, like you said? But they didn't say that in the movie. They said that anybody could use magic, but it's just too hard.
Okay.
That's what they literally said in the movie.
Drew?
What?
Don't yell at me.
I'm not.
Okay.
That's what they said in the movie.
Drew, the worthy part, if they do just the worthy part, don't you think they should have made Barley have the power? He's the only one that believed, so he should be worthy.
To be honest here, why couldn't both of them use it? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying about the evolution thing.
Well, they could have used another kind of thing. They could have used another explanation.
Maybe you said only worthy. Worthy wouldn't make sense
Well, that's
either.
not my explanation. I'm saying they could have come up with something better.
I think the whole point was they're saying it's evolution. So
maybe they could have said the youngest generation of a family can only use it or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. So you're just saying you wanted more why?
I wanted to know. I wanted a better explanation. They simply said it's too hard to do, so we just made technology to get around it. That's something I felt like they could have did better.
Okay, well,
because like they always are just saying technology bad. Use this. That was like the whole thing with the phone and the like. I don't get it. I'm just saying that.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, that could have used more explanation. I also think they could have explained more how the father had the scepter and the gem.
They literally say he's an accountant. I'm like, how did he get his hands on one of the perhaps powerful things in existence?
Yeah, so like they started to mention it, like, oh, why would he was an accountant? But they didn't really mention it, you know? Mm-hmm. Like they couldn't, like they didn't say like, oh, well, when I was young, I always had, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that could have used more explanation because it wouldn't make sense to just have the scepter and the, like, and especially if you had to go on that crazy of a quest to get that rock.
Yeah. I felt like some things could have been explored more and like made the world feel a bit more rounded. Mm-hmm. Like I would have personally loved to see like the people that made the game. Like they did such a good job of making it so accurate. All the spells actually work. What I would have loved, what if they just like were like, oh, wait, that's all real? We thought those were like storybooks.
Oh.
Like they would have just been like, that's a real like magical stuff, man. Mm-hmm. Or just like something else. I don't know. But let's talk about the final battle of the movie, because holy crap is it good. The dragon has a cartoon dragon for a face, and it's adorable.
No, you know what I liked? What is it called in a book when you like, I'm gonna sound really stupid right now again. You know when the thing where it like alludes to...
Foreshadowing?
There you go, that word. I forgot what it was called. Anyways, I like the foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Do you remember the part where like he first walks into school and he just stares at the dragon on the wall? Yeah. And it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, why are you just making him stare at it? And then he stared at it again as they were leaving. And I was like, that's kind of weird, you know?
And then you're like, oh my god, that's the final boss.
Yeah, like he literally looked it in the eyes twice.
As if it was challenging it.
Yeah.
Like he was challenging like the whole like school pressure, boy. What you gonna do? I'm gonna slap you like a dragon would.
Yeah, that was some nice foreshadowing.
And also, I loved a little bit of foreshadowing where the Barley is all like, Ian, don't you want to be the wizard? And like he turns out to be the wizard of like the actual story.
Oh yeah.
And like that other bit of foreshadowing where like I guess you can say like the fountain area where like they're all like, we're gonna tear this down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was really cool how like that was like the final thing.
See, they did a good job with foreshadowing. I feel like
everything was foreshadowed in a cool way.
Like it wasn't like, oh well, duh, it's gonna.
And also, I just love how like in the blueprints, like it literally just shows like legs. I'm like, did they foreshadow that he's just gonna be legs in like the blueprints? That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
cool
it was good.
I love.
Do you think it was cool of them? Like, okay, this is gonna sound bad. I love the movie. I loved it. Like
me too.
Well, I'll give you my rating later on, but I love the movie. But do you think
it could have been
that
better,
Ian, do you think Barley should have been a little jealous of Ian?
That would have made for an interesting kind of conflict, because he's like, I've spent my entire life studying, playing with, and understanding this, and
that's what I was
the
thinking
person
about.
that never believed in it gets it. That would have been such an interesting conflict.
Like him, every day, he's the only one that believes. He's the only one
and
that
then
is
when
like,
it's finally
magic
confirmed,
exists.
And then when it finally is confirmed, everyone's all, the person who didn't believe in him gets it.
Yeah.
That would have made for such an interesting conflict.
You think? Okay, so because I didn't know if that would have made it bad or not, but I was like if that was me and I was like, no guys, you have to believe or else, and then you got it, like I would have been like, well,
there goes that.
Okay, universe, I see you. You know?
I would have loved that moment, like, you know, Monsters University, right? Where, like, Sullivan and, like, Mike are having, like, that discussion. But, like, I would have loved a moment like that, but instead it's Ian talking to Barley, and he's like, I spent my entire life studying this stuff, understanding
Yeah, but, like, obviously...
playing it with my best friend.
Yeah.
And somehow you get it.
Yeah, but I think they could have found a way to make it, like, not as... Like, I think jealous in the beginning...
But then slowly became more, like, appreciative.
Yeah, but then be like, okay, but we're a team.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
But let's talk about some things that I didn't feel like really mattered that much. The Pixies.
Oh yeah,
I didn't get the whole point of that.
They
They literally copied a joke from Ratatouille. You know, where like the guy's like, that was literally just like a scene from Ratatouille where like Remy is like controlling like the chef. He's like, oh god, my guy's asleep. How do I get this like girl to back off? And he's like,
oh, I liked it though.
Yeah, I genuinely thought that like the car chase was really cool. I'm like, he's like, you have to get to the other side. It just like slides across.
Like, merge! You have to merge now!
And now I just have a question. And also, I really like that whole little scene with like where like they disguise themselves as like the centaur guy and like talk to like the cops. There's a lot of good scenes in this film that I feel like would be good. Like, if this film was like made by anyone else, I still think it would be a good movie. Because like I think it really has to do with characters, because every scene is character driven, and I like that.
Yeah.
It never feels like these characters are acting out of character or just doing something in service of the plot, but everything felt like it had a reason and an idea of what to do. And like
I think the magic spells too, like they weren't just like stupid spells, you know, like they're like wachu la la blah blah.
Like I like how all the spells come together to help him fight the dragon.
Yeah,
at the end.
and like that he didn't just get it like that.
Like he had, like I really loved
he had to actually put effort in, which I feel like is very realistic. And I think like, or like one part where remember the rope and he had to cross and make the bridge, and then he was like,
I love that scene where like the rope is like gone and he's just like having so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
And then after that he's like, how long was the rope off of me? About half of it. I could have fallen, but you didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and then you just see that little spark of confidence, and then that comes full circle when they're like. Where like they're about to be, where Barley's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I have no idea." Then they just zoom away from the police.
Yeah. Do you think the police chase was necessary, or do you think it was stupid?
I feel like it kind of worked.
You think?
I mean, how else was there going to be that moment where like they solidified that this is what they're going to do and they're not going to be turned back?
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like that really solidified it, and I just love that little tiny, and I love the whole like. Quest is like a puzzle thing, and like the actual like stuff that they thought was like random, like the whole coloring it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's actually.
Yeah, but if you like listen, she says, I made them
based off of my actual.
Yeah,
lives.
like it's like little things like that where it's like, oh, like like for the older kids like us, because like we are older, but like we also have a younger sister and she's 7, and so I feel like it has stuff in there where we are like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool how they put all that together, and like we can like we're paying a lot of attention.
And then our little sister can be like, that's how they did it.
Or like she's still interested, but it keeps us interested too, because there's like little things for each age.
This is a problem I had with this is something I noticed with a few of other Pixar films, because films like Coco are amazing. They're brilliant. They're beautiful. I noticed that sometimes kids can get bored with those stories.
Yeah.
Because the ending is so heartfelt, warming, and beautiful for adults.
Yeah.
But kids are going to be bored. I heard that in some movie theaters, kids were literally like running up and down the aisles because they were super bored.
Oh.
But a film like this can definitely keep kids interested.
Oh, it did. Like,
there's always
incorporating. Like, it had a huge message and theme. But like for kids, like our little sister, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I loved it."
Yeah. That's something I like about this film. That I feel like the Pixar should always kind of keep in mind. You're making movies for all, so you have to make sure that you have to keep it interesting and fun.
Yeah, or even like the foreshadowing.
We watched this all as his entire family, and we all loved it.
Yeah.
We all had a fun blast.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
So overall, plot really good.
Really good. I really liked it.
Let's talk about
great story.
Music.
Themes? Music?
Yeah.
Okay, music. Ding a ding a ding.
Binga banga binga doing.
Ding a ding a ring a ling.
Music can make or break a movie, trust me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this music in this film. I love it.
Yes.
It has this, it feels like a fantasy done today. It has like those deep like basses and those high like, like those say, and the Valhalla thing that the band plays as it goes. I'm just thinking, that sounds like it could be from freaking Thor or like God of War or something. I love that. I love a good score, and if I could, I would totally just look up the soundtrack to this and just kind of give it like a few listens. But again, I think it really works better as like it complements the scenes. Like I feel like if the music was like by itself, I'd be like, it's kind of cool. But I think it works better if you watch it with the scenes. What are your thoughts on the music?
I think it was good. Yeah, like I don't think there was anything where I was like, oh, that doesn't really fit, or
it all
or
fits
it wasn't
together.
Too much music. I don't think there was too much music.
And I like how the music kind of complements the scene, like the heavy rock music that kind of like contradicts like the whole like more like sympathetic, more like a whole like very soft music. I like how they use that to show like the conflict has began, where like the brother turns up the music super loud.
Yeah.
And like the mom's yoga music comes back when she's doing like her little thing on the bed.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's all really fun. It's like they had a puzzle piece and they put it together, and I like it. That's fun.
They made a beautiful puzzle piece, baby.
They made a great movie. It was fun, it was entertaining, it was heartwarming. And the music complements that great. There's scenes, the music in the finale where like the brother is watching his brother do it, and you just hear the music swell and like.
But it was kind of like peace, like they were all at peace with their decisions,
Yeah, it felt peaceful. It felt like it complements the character's emotions, and that's what a good music does. A more boring score, I'm just gonna say from something like Trolls, just feels more like. Is that just a pop song because you used it? I don't really get why you used that song here, but for this movie, it feels like this is what the characters are feeling. Listen to it, and that's why I love songs that like from movies like How to Train Your Dragon or something like. They use the music to tell the story rather than just say, "Remember this song? You used to listen to this on the radio. Now this Anna Kendrick and Timberlake is going to sing it out loud."
Timberlake.
I know, I said it wrong on purpose. Now let's talk about themes.
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 Or if you say it in reverse, zoom it. But let's talk about themes. I think it has to do with grief.
Okay, top. Let's narrow it down to like top 3 themes, and then if
brotherhood,
we pick one.
Grief, and I guess you can say peace.
But is it just brotherhood or is it family? I guess it does complement.
I think it's mostly brotherhood because like they explain how a brother can become a father to someone. How they.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not talking about the people that they make with their girlfriends.
What?
A brother can become a father to someone, and I'm not just talking about the people that they make with their girlfriends. Get it? Nate?
Am I stupid or something? I don't get it.
Baby making? Do you not get it?
No, say it one more time.
Okay, and that it shows that a brother can be a father to anyone, but I'm not just talking about the people that they make with their girlfriends. Get it? Funny joke. But let's talk about themes. So brotherhood, I really.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I like that this is a movie or this Pixar film complemented. That's probably not the right word, but it really I can't think of the word.
Explained, discovered.
No.
explored.
Like, okay, I'll say it and then if you see if you can fix the terms. Okay.
Okay.
I like that it kind of focused on like sibling relationships.
Yeah, I like that.
Rather than like, cause usually I don't know, you see a lot of
You
like
always see the
mom
whole-
and daughter or daughter and
Or father and son. Or father and
daughter mother.
You always hear about the whole, my father abandoned me, so I must find him. But I really like how they're all like, the father died and the brother had to take over. That's a really good sign.
Or like I think the most powerful part where it's like, okay, well, brotherhood is a thing, but like the most powerful part was when because he has like this checklist that he wants to accomplish with his father for the day, and he's just checking them off because he's like, we don't have enough because they only can have them for 24 hours, and they only have like an hour left or something.
Like half an hour, I think,
yeah,
at most.
and so he's just so sad. So he's checking it all off, right?
Uh-huh.
But then he like has these flashbacks, but he's like, I already did this with my brother.
My
you know?
brother acted as my father.
Exactly. Like my brother stepped up to the plate, you know? And I feel like that's, I don't know, that really hit home for me. I don't know if it's just because I am like the oldest sibling and
It really is, I feel like this is really like a good, you did good, older siblings kind of thing, like a pat on the back to you guys, because you guys stepped up to the plate when the parents weren't able to. Like, if your parents work like a long time, your older sibling usually steps up to the plate.
Yeah, like our mom works a lot, you know?
Yeah, and you really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's why I just love that
I just love how it shows that a sibling, a brother and brother relationship, or a sister and sister relationship can be as strong as a father and son, or a mother and a daughter.
I think that was beautiful.
Yeah, not a lot of movies talk about that.
Exactly.
They're always talking about the father and son, or the daughter.
Or like,
and
I
mother.
can't live up to my blah blah blah, my father/mother's
Why not just say I can't live up to my brother? Like, I feel like the field films kind of touch on that, like Big Hero 6.
Yeah,
with,
but
Hero
it's not
and
more
brother.
like, cause this one was more like, okay, my siblings stepped up to the plate. They did that for me. I have those memories because of them, and I don't feel like any film has done that so well.
Yeah, like this, because it really explores that theme, that idea.
It's just beautiful.
It really focuses on what brotherhood should strive to be.
Yeah. Or sibling. Like sibling
Just
relationships.
sibling relationships should be in general.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the second one, grief.
Ugh.
This family is still grieving, but not as hard as they probably were. They're still feeling the impact of his death all these years later, where the son never met his father. And you really feel that impact, where he's literally talking to a VHS tape of his father, where like you just hear the audio and he's like, hi, and then you just hear the father respond, hi, and like he talks so much. He pours his heart out, but the father isn't able to hear him. And you really feel that sadness.
Or like when he's wearing the sweater, and then he's like, or he meets the guy that knew his father, he's like, you know my father? Did you notice that he was wearing purple socks when he came back?
Yeah, I was literally all like, this guy really can make it. You feel that when he enters a room.
Yeah.
That's a man that has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
A man who wears purple socks and isn't afraid to use them.
Yeah. I don't know. And I do, Grief is a good one. I think it kind of...
And I love how he always tries to live up to his father, but he also learns, your father was just like you.
Yeah.
Where he's all like, was that always that confident? Mm-hmm. And his mother was like, what? No, it took him forever to be like that.
Yeah, I think with grief also, I think it, like you said, like, so much time has passed since this happened. Like, Ian didn't even get to meet his father. Like, he died before he was birthed.
Yeah.
So, but like he still feels it, and I think it's like there's always going to be grief.
That's something that any family member death can do. It causes a shockwave, and you will always feel that.
It hurts.
Every time that you just hear anything that they would have said, or you just feel that, you just go to you just feel that.
You go to a place.
It's like a shockwave.
Yeah. There was this one article thing that I read, and it like explained that grief comes in waves. You know, like you'll feel it a lot, and then you won't feel so much, but it's still there. But
it's basically like a bomb. It's basically more of like, don't think about it, but then you do think about it, and it just hits you.
Yeah.
It feels like a tidal wave, but luckily, this is what this film kind of teaches you. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel sad about these things. But what's important is that you don't let it control your life, and you are able to at least somewhat move on from it. Which is, I think it's kind of like another theme, like something like Endgame, where they're always talking about grief is something we should move on from, but they never really go that far with it. But this one really takes it all in. They're like, here's what it is. We're going to talk about it.
Or like find a way to like honor their memory.
This film isn't afraid of death, and that's something I really like.
Yeah.
A lot of Pixar films usually kind of shy away from death, where they're all like,
don't say it. Like, don't say that word.
But like, I really like how they use death in like a very serious manner, but then they can also use it in like a comedic manner, where like the girl, like the lizard, like the snake gets like stabbed, and then they're like, you killed her, and I'm like, did they just say the K word in a Pixar movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, but then I just realized, Incredibles existed and they really talked about mass murder. But hey, at least it's more for kids. I feel like kids should really be taught these subjects like death and everything, and not just be like hidden from it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to learn about death.
Because they're gonna feel it.
Yeah, because I feel like if the longer you keep a kid away from something like death, you're just gonna get them.
Although I don't. It's kind of a hard subject. I think it is hard to explain to
But I feel like
children.
that's why we have stuff like movies and cartoons. It's to help kids learn about things.
Oh.
That's why I feel like cartoons shouldn't be like blatant about their stuff. Like, I guess, like, I don't want a Dora thing. I want more of a, here's these characters going on an adventure. Here's what they experience, and here's what you can experience too in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I love slice of life shows so much. Like a Hey Arnold or where like they just talk about real life themes and stuff. Like Arnold gets mugged in an episode. Here's how he experienced that. But I guess the themes. Let's talk about.
Wait, what was the last one? You said like sibling relationships, grief,
and I guess.
Wait, what did you say? Oh, you said peace.
Yeah, peace. Coming to peace with everything.
Yeah.
I guess you can say that's really something. I feel like a lot of people should learn to keep with peace with their decisions. And this film really shows that.
Yeah.
Our main character never gets to meet his father, which is something I feel like really hits you in the gut, because you're like, this kid never got to meet his father, but the fact that the music sounds peaceful, and you just see that he's actually at peace with that. He's happy that his brother, the person that she does remember him, gets to feel that.
Yeah.
You really feel that whole, everyone came to peace. This is what they did, and they're happy.
Like everything, like it's okay.
Like the brothers came to peace about their differences, and they learned to compromise with each other. Like, you know.
But I do think the biggest heavy hitter of the themes is probably sibling relationships. I think that was
the main focus, but everything else kind of came as like a nice little complementary.
It was like sibling relationships, and then under the umbrella is grief.
I like to think of it as a whole focus thing, because if you focus it at like a base level, you're like sibling relationships, you look a bit deeper, grief, then you look a bit deeper, you're like peace, because you hear those little things like the music for that final moment, or and personally I just love films like that where you're like, I can rewatch this again and again and find something new that I didn't notice before. I feel like I could probably look at that. I didn't notice the A113.
Huh?
The A113, that's in every Pixar film, remember? A113.
Yeah.
We have to rewatch that and try to look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you know what? One thing I did. Okay, so I'm a big crier in movies. Like I bawl. Like Drew hates when I watch sad movies because I just cry.
She sounds like a whale.
Okay. No. Okay, so I bawl. But for like in this film, like I told them before, I was like, I'm gonna cry.
But you didn't.
And I didn't.
But
and I think it was because
I feel like they didn't try super hard to pull out your heartstrings.
But but it did, but in a different way. Because like in the beginning, like you could feel this, like it felt kind of gloomy in the beginning.
Yeah.
But like in the end, like it was sad. Like, okay, so it was like okay, we need to go save him. We only have this amount of time. So then you were like sad, and then you were sad when he was like, I'm gonna cross out all these things because I can't do it. And then it was like, oh, that's so sad, right? But then it was like, but I did do it. So then it was like happy, and then it was like, oh, like what was another part? The mom was like, okay, kids, go bring him back, and I'll try and do it. But then they couldn't do that, and so it was that part where he was like, no, you stay. Ian said to Barley, no, you stay. Like, I'll do it. And that was sad. But then you see freaking Ian fighting, so you can't be that sad because he was like,
it was like an action scene. But what I would have loved, and this is a little bit like deviant, what if he just shrunk the dragon and just stepped on it? He just was like,
oh my god, okay.
And then he just stepped on it.
Okay, Drew. And then in the end, like when you see his father like actually come, you don't really get to see like his face up close or anything.
I mean, that's what we have
them like for. You see them hugging, and then you're like, that's sad. But then you like, it doesn't last that long, you know. And so it's like,
but it doesn't feel like a whole, oh, he didn't get to meet his father. It felt more like, so at least his brother got to meet his father.
Yeah, and then
which was so it doesn't feel sad. It feels more like a I'm sad, but I'm also like happy.
Yeah, like I got tears in my eyes. I think Drew did too, right?
Yeah,
we got tears in our eyes.
We got sappy,
but it didn't hurt enough to go ugh.
But I feel like that was the point. I feel like they weren't trying to make you cry. I felt like they were trying to make you feel more like peace. Like the perfect blend, I think, of sadness and happiness, which is probably what Ian is feeling. He's like, I'm not gonna meet my dad, but at least Barley did.
Yeah, and then
you just hear that really funny thing where it's like, what would your wizard name? He said that his wizard name would be I think it was No, it was like Merlin the Fantastic or something. And you're like, that's really terrible. And then they just kind of laugh.
Yeah, and then he was like, also, he said to give you this. And then they hugged, you know? That was cute.
That was good.
That was so cute.
Yeah, so...
And then they're all accepted. So, I mean, overall. Should we do ratings next?
Yeah, we'll do ratings. Ratings!
I don't think you're in for any.
Ratings!
Now you're really close to me.
Okay, so let's talk about your rating. What would you overall rate the movie?
Okay, wait, let's make the scale. 1 being absolutely trash.
Never
like,
watch again.
Why is it even exist? And 10 being this, like Marvel Endgame.
Yeah. Or more like just, like classics like The Wizard of Oz or something like that.
Endgame.
Okay, just go. What would you rate it?
Mine's gonna be... I'm gonna say like a 9.5.
Oh, that's a high one. That's really high. I like it though. I like it. For me, I'm gonna have to go with... Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go with an 8. I'm sorry.
Don't be. Do we explain why?
Yeah, give your reason.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because I do think they do deserve credit for the story and that it's a new idea and it really hasn't been done before and the creativity and the animation was beautiful. Like
it's Pixar. What do you expect?
It was pretty. So that I think the story overall was beautiful and the theme of the sibling relationships, I feel like I haven't really seen a movie that does a good job as that, so I like that. And I think giving all the characters purpose is a big point of it. Like, there wasn't any point where I was like, huh? Or like, what are you guys doing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, okay, this all fits, and it was just a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it up there, and I really like the creativity of it, which I feel like is something we're lacking a lot in the movie industry right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So for them to be able to bust this out, and I think it's based off a real story.
What?
Not like I think.
Oh, I mean like another story, like a book or something.
I think someone I forgot. I was watching an interview thing, and they were like, it was like the directors had a dream about it or something. Like they lost their father, and they had a dream about. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But it's definitely in interviews. Why? It has something to do with real life. It's something like that.
For me, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it's a great movie. It's probably one of the better Pixar films that came out this, these last few years. And I have to admit, I love the originality. The animation, as you said, was good. I just really I feel like the character design could have been a bit better because I love the clothing. They really complimented them. But I feel like, Pixar has that, that very samey style with their films. I really want them to kind of experiment with the style.
Like, kind of get rid of trolls. It was kind of trolly. They kind of look like trolls.
I mean, I would have preferred it a bit more if, like, the characters were a lot vastly different. Like, the elves, they had, like, what if they were modeled a bit more like Christmas elves or something? Like, like, they had, like, a bit more, like, bigger heads and, like, weird, smaller bodies. I don't know. Something a bit more unique, kind of like what Spider-Verse did, where, like, they're like, we're gonna make it a comic book. So, but what if they did, like, a lot more, like, kind of like, like Charlie Brown movie that came out?
I can see that, yeah.
What if they made them, like, based off, like, cartoon kind of monsters and, like, made them, like, super, like, simplistic, but yet expressive, which is something I would have liked.
Okay,
but
so character
also,
design.
Sometimes I kind of felt out of place in, like, a super realistic environment because they're cartoony, but, like, the van looks super realistic, which kind of looked weird to me a few times, but, it's not good dinosaur levels. But also, I have to admit, the story, everything, it was one of the few films that I felt almost brought me to tears.
Yeah.
The only film that I ever did that was Kung Fu Panda 2, and I will explain why when we get to that film. Overall, an 8 out of 10 from me and a 7.5 from Sydney.
Okay,
Thank you all
I won't say it. We're not done. I won't say it this time. The next time. Just watch your Murdogs. Didn't say it.
What did you say? Okay, finish
Said
it.
watch your Murdogs.
Oh, okay, finish it now.
Okay, wait. Anyways, so overall, Onward, Pixar.
Good job.
We're
You're
proud.
back.
We're very proud.